I love him.
Yeah, so Vortex, how did he join the band? And so
Oh,
where did
I
you get that
I
idea from to
I
get
I love him, man. He's the funnest person ever on the planet. He's if you have to go around the world with somebody, you want to go with him because
really?
oh yes, man, yeah. He's just the nicest person ever that you'll ever meet, for one. And he just makes even if there's a depressing moment or something, he'll just pop out of somewhere and be like, "Well, everything's okay." Like,
Yeah,
he's
with his
just
pitch
he
vocal.
sings everything, man. Like during the day, like he just instead of talking to you, he just sings to you. Like, Jay, are you okay? Like, yeah, man, I'm all right. Like he's just that prankster, the funny guy that's around you, and he's a good time. But with him, we all know each other and we're doing spiritual, and someone said I really liked me Shagarath especially as well. We like his vocals in BORGIR, and it was yeah, we just wanted to get like some different vocals on spiritual. And so we flew him over when we were in the studio, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work. I wasn't 100% sure, and definitely our producer was not sure whatsoever. I don't think he was on board with having them clean vocals. Peter Takved from the produced Spiritual, um, but I remember I think there was just me and Shagarath were in the studio, and he was there. We just chucked him in the vocal booth, and I think the first was definitely Reptile. I think the first vocals he sang on. And I was just on the couch there, like, just chilling out. And then as soon as he started to sing, I just went, this is good. This is exactly what we need. And it just worked straight away. As I said, the producer was like, I'm not sure. And me and Shagarath were just like, no, this works, this works, this works. And then we just went through songs and picked out parts where we thought it would be.
Uh-huh.
And then, as I said, so Nagash had played bass on Spiritual, but we had already decided before Spiritual that Nagash was leaving just to play in Covenant. I was leaving Covenant just to play in DIMMU. We already had that. And Vortex plays bass as well, and he's singing now. So it wasn't even a decision. It was just like, you're just playing with us now. You know what I mean? Like, it was just everyone was happy about it. And yeah, man. And he's
It
a
was
really
such a
good bass.
coincidence, right?
Yeah, it just happened. Yeah. Like, Nagash was leaving. We needed a bass player. Plus, he's doing the singing now, and it just is what it is. Yeah, and I think he was good. He was good for that. He was good for that band. Again down the road, like he leaves the band, Mister leaves the band. Like it's just DIMMU is Shagarath and Selenos, and they're tight as thieves, and that's just going to be their band forever now, and it's just going to get other people just to play along. You know what I mean?
Yes. So it was good time, right? It was hard time and it was good time at the same time.
It was a great time. Yeah, Spirit. Yeah, dude, from Godless to up to starting Puritanical. Yeah, that 3 years was amazing.
What is your
And like,
favorite song? What is your favorite song from DIMMU? From Spiritual Black Dimensions? Tricky question. Yeah.
Grotesque is pretty good, man. I think Insight. I really enjoy the Insight and the Catharsis. It's just it's just something I wrote that just when I sit back and listen to it, it sounds. I just like that. Yeah, to me, it's puts a smile on my face when I listen to it because I didn't. It just came out exactly how it was supposed to, and like it was a team effort as well. But yeah, I like that. I do like that grotesque. I like the solos on that one because that I liked how that was done. But Inside is really good as well.
Yeah, Inside is grotesque, and Arcane is good at just like the song structure, restructure. So all these moments say
Arcane's different because the middle part of Arcane is like, it's different. There's a half a bar that's out here and there, but it's supposed to be like that. And yeah. And even the end of it, like the end solo on Arcane is just, it's not like any other solo on the rest of the album. It's just so I just wanted to just to, because there's someone that I haven't mentioned that is one of my best, like, because Trey Zagzoff is one of my favorite guitar players ever. And like, so on the end of Arcane, I just wanted to do something that was Trey-ish, you know what I mean? Just to put that part of like what I grew up with it into as well. And that's why that end solo of there is just, yeah, it's a bit Trey. Yeah, but
yeah, but it worked.
yeah.
It worked. And just regarding live, right? Live shows. So you have BC Rich. So BC Rich is down tuned, right? Your Kelly was E, BC Rich was B.
Yes, exactly. At that time, yeah. And then I had two. Then I had got another Jackson, and then I got rid of that. I stopped playing that BC Rich probably in halfway through '99. I had another Kelly, so yeah, I had a shop deal, like a German shop deal, where they would give me Kellys, and I would just have to do like ads and shit. But yeah, I eventually went to the two Kellys. Yeah.
All right. So just because I paid attention in '97, you played Jackson Professional, something like that, and you got later on you got your Kelly. So you bought it in Germany, right?
No, okay, in '97. That Jackson Professional, that's just the neck. That's just the Jackson
Yes,
neck that
yes,
I.
it's because it's a fretboard overlap
That's
of the
that's a Ibanez S body, because when we were recording Nexus Polaris, I threw my guitar through the apartment wall because I was just upset one day, and I was fighting, and during Nexus I had a very, very, very good friend of mine that passed away back in Australia, and I was in the apartment. And one of my friends called me and goes, "Look, I know you're busy right now, but da da da, this person's passed away." And I was playing guitar at the time. I had my phone. I was like, writing Nexus, and we were getting ready for the next day recording. And I just picked it up and I just smashed it against the wall, like, because I was just fucking upset. And then the next day, I had to go. I went to all these German music stores until I found like a body, and then I just, yeah, like I had to make one, like, you know what I mean, on the spot. And yeah, that guitar ended up being the rhythm guitar that me and Blackheart used on Nexus. It just worked out. So an Ibanez S body on a Jackson neck, and it worked. So yeah, everyone always asks me that and goes, "It's not a Jackson body." I'm like, "Yeah, I know it's an Ibanez body." But yeah, back then I didn't have another guitar. That was the only one, because I used to have a white Jackson Professional, like Scott Ian from Anthrax. You know what I mean? Just that white style. And yeah, I broke it, man. I lost my temper, and and then got that, and then like from there, um yeah, once I'd recorded that, I went back to Norway, and then started to get different guitars here and there, just whatever I had at the time. But the Kellys are good, man. It's just, I just got a new Loomis USA Kelly, and that is really nice. That is, yeah, like, it's stupid though, man. It was like $9,000. You know how stupid that is? Like, yeah, Australian dollars. So in US, it's probably 6,000 or something USD. But
you paid for
yeah,
that guitar $6,000?
yeah, it's nice.
That's what Gimmer told me. That's what Gimmer told me. We spoke about your Kelly. He said, "That's like he using bolt-on Kelly, and it's gonna cost a lot." So I checked on the internet. I said, "Oh, yeah." So, but 6,000, yeah, that
So for me, in Australian dollars, it's probably like 9,000. which is like ridiculous. But
Yeah.
then also right now, I'm also playing a Loomis Schecter, the old V with the cutout,
Uh-huh.
and that was like $3,500. But that's my favorite guitar. Like, yeah, that neck on that Schecter is fucking amazing. Like for rhythm, it's amazing. The Jackson, the new Loomis USA Jackson, like for leads, is really good. Like that newest Lord Chaos song on there, that lead was done on that new Jackson, and it just sounds fucking amazing. But still, they're all EMGs. I only ever use EMGs. I'll never use anything else. In the new Jackson, like you could either get the Duncans or the EMGs. I always go with 81s, man. So it just gives me that, it just has that extra bit of drive in there. But I always use an overdrive pedal as well. Like no matter what amp I'm using, like yeah, it's always an overdrive pedal. But like the new guitar rigs that are built now for the new locale stuff, I think it's the best sounding rig that I've had, yeah, for a long time. And I'm using Soldano preamp, then I'm using Black Star power amps, and I went back to Marshall vintage 30s. Yeah, and I use a Joyo green pedal, which is just like a tube screamer, but I tried out a lot of I tried Ibanez tube screamers and everything, but this Korean company Joyo, like they really just make a nice fucking tube screamer.
Great. So just what equipment did you use doing NEXUS Polaris? The same as Spiritual Black Dimension, so
No, 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 no. That was an angle. That was an Richie Blackmore angle, um, straight into a Mezzo oversized V30s, and it was just it. There was no overdrive, anything. It was just straight into an Angle Savage. It must have been, yeah. And the gain on that album, we really turned the gain down. Like it's not over distorted. It's really the gain's probably on like 5 or 6 because it didn't need to have that like distortion sound. It just needed to be gainy. You know what I mean? Because Spiritual was dual rectifier. I think Solano said somewhere it was a triple, but I remember it being a dual. So
but so just you use JMP1 as well. Just you use it for Spiritual Black Dimensions from your Payton.
um live I use JMP1 in 9200, but not to record on Spiritual. No,
All
just
right.
dual rectifier. Always like my live setup was JMP1 through the 9200 with EL34s. Selenos, he did buy a JMP1, but for him it didn't have enough distortion, so he just used he bought a Boss rectifier. So basically, he's just using like a metal zone through a 9200. He liked that more distortion. Where I don't like distortion. I like gain because I want to be able to. I want clarity. You know what I mean? I don't want everywhere. But But then like one of my favorite albums by Cannibal Corpse is The Bleeding, and that's a metal zone. But so it's weird.
I see. Just and yeah, just we're talking again about NEXUS Polaris. So you said you wrote your only couple of songs for that album. So just my favorite, like The Bringer of the Six Sun and
Only...
Chorus of Thunder. Chorus of Thunder is yes, it's I have no words to describe this song. So it's you pick the words.
I know there's a couple of things we've got to change on Chariots, but we can talk about that in our personal chats.
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
the Chariots cover is good. There's a couple of things that we have to get you to change there.
Yeah, but so just what songs did
Chariots
you
was good. Like for me, my personal like songs of Nexus Polaris. I like Bizarre. Bizarre is really good. The second song from that album is really Bizarre Cosmic Industries. I really like that song. Planetary is really good. I like that song a lot. Because yeah,
actually the whole
it's
album is
weird.
great. The whole it's
Yeah,
really
that's what I'm saying. I like see, to me, my least favorite song on that album is Bringer. I'm not a big fan of Bringer.
really.
That's Blackheart. That's a Blackheart song, and I just yeah, it's just It's just not something
I
that I would
know,
write.
like pop.
But like all my friends, right, when they hear it, they that's the first one that they go, that song's awesome. I'm like, really? But I do understand. It's a it's catchy and yeah, it's done well. Like it's put together well, but it's not something that I would write. But yeah, it's I could say that about a lot of songs as well. Like Nexus, like to me, as I said, like out of all the albums I've ever done, like Nexus is my favorite as a whole album, only because I enjoy playing it so much. But Spiritual is a better album when I listen to it. But when I'm playing it, Nexus is a better for me. I enjoy playing Nexus better than I enjoy playing Spiritual.
All right. Now, what about by the way, just regarding Norwegian Grammy Award, right? Uh, so you
Nightmare.
came out on the stage with Grotesque Reconciled, but
Nightmare.
huh?
It was a nightmare. It was the worst show that ever happened.
Why?
Oh,
You don't want to you don't want to talk about it, right? So with
oh,
Nightmare, it was Nightmare.
it was a nightmare. It's a fucking yeah, it's a huge show. It's on TV and everything, and you're just you're on Christian fucking just government TV. It's just nothing ever good's going to be about it. And we had we had done the show the day before, rehearsed it, and we had a full orchestra as well. We had Oslo Philharmonic Orchestra there,
Uh-huh.
right? And so they were going to play the backing tracks for the orchestra, and they played it, and we just like sat there and played, and then we went back into the TV truck, and they played it back, and everything was perfect, solos perfect, everything was perfect. And then the next day, I get a call from my manager going, "Oh, you need to get down to the entertainment center. Something's going on." Me and Shogarath goes, run straight to the place, and then the guy from the orchestra is going, "Oh, we're not going to play with you." And I'm like, "Why not? We just played yesterday." And he goes, "Oh, well, I went on the internet and I read the lyrics for Tormentor of Christian Souls, and we can't play with you anymore." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And look, I do understand, like if something is against your views, you should be able to stand up for your views. You know what I mean? So that was straight away. Like I spent there half an hour talking to this person who was the spokesperson for the orchestra, and he was like, "No, no, 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 we can't do it." And I said, "Can we at least just? The orchestra's already recorded. Can we just play that back anyway?" And he goes, "No, we're deleting everything. Like we didn't understand like that. This is how it was." And look, I understand. Like people's views are people's views. And then I remember just before we went out, we had all these fire breathers and shit, and we hadn't rehearsed that. And the drums are playback on that, and the bass is playback. The only thing live on that show is me and Selenos and Shugarath, because they don't want anything to go wrong. And I'm like, that's fine, like that's all good. And I had a fire breather right next to me, and I started to play, and then all of a sudden he started breathing this fire, and I felt the heat, and I felt my strings expand, and I was like, "Ah, fuck, now it's all a nightmare because now I'm out of tune." And as soon as I started to play my first solo bit, I could hear it was out of tune, and there's nothing I can do. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can do then. I'm fucked. Like, so yeah, nightmare.
Okay, so and
And
so
then after it, we stopped, and then they say Covenant wins. I start walking over, and the producers on the crew didn't understand that I played in both bands. So they thought I was walking across to beat them up. You know what I mean? Because they're like, "No, no, no, you didn't win." I'm like, "I did fucking win. I'm just in both bands." You know what I mean? And then, so I'm like, everyone's like, "Yeah, it's okay." And then we go there, and yeah, we're standing there, and They said, "Do you have anything to add?" And I just said, "Hail Satan." And then every person who won an award after that, the first thing they say is, "I like to thank God." Yeah.
So what song did Covenant perform on that
We
award?
didn't. We
Ah,
didn't. No.
just
No, it was
demo.
just just Dimmu, just that one song. Because but at the rehearsal, because the day before they go through the whole show, and at the rehearsal show, Mandanis Imperium won the award. Because they just randomly pick it. You know what I mean? And because I think it was Godless and Nexus is better than Godless. So, and then the next year, the next year Grammy Awards, it was Spiritual and Animatronic, and Covenant won again. But you know what I mean? Like that's I didn't go to that awards. I sat at home and just watched it on TV. And that's when the guy said the wrong band name and the other band come up, and it was because they think it's a joke. They think metal's a joke, you know what I mean, for all these people, because back then they didn't realize that MTV in Norway isn't fucking Rihanna, it's metal. You know what I mean? It's a different place. But they were just starting to get onto it, you know what I mean? And that's why you've seen the Viva TV documentary, the Covenant one. And I think they come over to do the Grammy Awards as well. And yeah, that was quite fun. The whole behind the scenes of doing them award shows it's a nightmare.
So, but
Totally.
it's very strange you say that you composed. So I just changed the topic a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah.
You said that you composed lots of riffs for Puritanical, Euphoric, Misantropia. You also made a contribution to Animatronic, but when you open the CD, right, layout, there is no your name. Why?
No, because you have deals. Like you can't like how do I say it? Like if an album's coming out and there's other people on there, you can't say, "Oh, it was this person has written this or written that," because it just doesn't work going forward. So you just make a deal with the band or your label to get paid for what you've done, and then you just zip it.
All
You have
right.
a non-disclosure agreement. It's called NDA.
So if it's not disclosure agreement, I had a question on my list. So
No,
just
I'm saying I can talk about it, but I'm just saying I the reason why my name isn't on the albums or all that is because that's the agreement. I'm allowed to talk about it, but I just can't have credits, if you know what I mean.
yeah, so and if you remember, so I read somewhere, right? Yeah, I don't remember where was that on YouTube and comments or something like that. That like you had an issue with royalties with Dimmu Borgir or something like that. So
I've never had a problem with Dimmu
perfect.
pays me every 6 months perfectly. I've never been paid 1 cent from Nexus Polaris.
Really?
Not once, not once, not one.
I
But for Dimmu, every 6 months, Selenos gives me my statement and I get paid perfectly from them. But yeah, from Covenant, not even 1 cent ever. And they just re-released all this shit again, and yeah, not
so
once.
but you still friends with Nagash, right?
Sure, yeah, I don't. We just don't talk about it.
So it's yeah, it's not about you because it was like all this label, whoever okay. By the way, Nagash did a tour, Next Polaris tour in
Yeah,
2010. Did he
I
ask you
didn't
to
know that.
join?
I didn't know that. I'm upset about that. That upset me because all he had to do is just tell me. He didn't even tell me they were doing it because I would have been there straight away. Like I would have got on the plane the next day and just done it. But I didn't even know until someone else told me about it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And that's all right. Like it is what it is. But yeah, obviously they didn't think that that's what they wanted to do at the time. But yeah, I really would have been. It would have been fun to do that. Like yeah, because I think I might have seen a few videos from it, and they're obviously not playing the same solo, so I don't know.
And Jay, there is sun shining on your bird, and you look
Yeah, I
like
know.
mouse.
Give
Maybe
me a
you do
second.
you have shutters on?
Give me a second.
Yeah,
Better?
yes, it's
Yeah,
better.
Santa Claus. I was looking as well. It looked like Santa Claus, bro.
Yeah.
No, that's all right, man. I just had to change my blinds here because the sun moves, like physics, sun moves.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's really upset that you made such a contribution to this album and you never been offered to make a tour with them, because I spoke to Sarah, right? So she said no, Austin didn't join us because
Sarah played on that one as well?
yeah, she was.
Yeah, see, that's bullshit. Yeah. But as I said, like obviously, yeah. Look,
If
maybe
you
they
had
didn't.
an opportunity to join any reunion, would you do it?
Yes, for
Covenant,
sure.
Dimmu, Borgir.
Dimmu, when they come to Australia last time, they were here like a year ago, and I was talking to Selenos, and I said, "Can I just come on and just play like two songs?"
Uh-huh.
And he said Shagarath would never allow that.
Very strange, very strange.
Yeah.
You have such an opportunity in Australia, just you can come out
Yeah,
and
it's my home. It's my hometown. Because we never got to play in Australia because we had a tour booked. We had Japan and Australia booked, and then we did an American tour, and we were in America, man, for USA. We were there nearly 3 months, man. Like in South America, America, and Canada, like nearly 3 months. And then we had Japan and Australia booked straight away after that. We flew back, and 2 days before we were supposed to fly back to Australia to play, the gigs got cancelled. And I ring the promoter straight away because I know AJ. AJ's the promoter. I said, "What's going on, man?" He goes, uh, you know, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, things didn't work out. So I missed that chance to play in Australia with Dimmu, which it would have been great to play in my hometown. Yeah.
yeah, man.
But as I said, like every time Dimmu comes here, I still go and hang out with the guys, talk to them. But yeah, I did ask Lenos the last time. I said, "Man, can I just come play a couple of songs?" And he was like, "Yeah, Sugar's not going to ever let that happen." And I was like, "That's fine," because and I do get it because like it's they're a big proper band. They can't do that stuff, and I understand it. But not being asked to do the Nexus stuff that was pretty bad.
Yeah. So now let's talk about another one important thing for me about Carpet Tenebrum.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's your child, right? I would say.
yes.
So okay, so you already gave us some information about that. You just recorded Mirrored Head painting straight after Spiritual Black Dimensions. So just where the material came from, I mean, for the Mirrored Head painting, and so just let's talk a little bit about the name Carpet Tenebrum. Where did it come from?
Well, it in Latin. It means seize the night. And one of my favorite movies growing up was Dead Poet Society. And they always in that movie, the whole movie's about carpe diem. It means seize the day.
Yeah.
And uh yeah, it was just like, well, you can seize the day, but I'm going to seize the night. You know what I mean? So it's just something that just come around after I needed something, and it was just that movie to me was like it was inspiring. It's good writing, it's good things, and I understand like you're not here forever, and you've got to take what's yours and seize the night. It just seemed to work. And as I said, like Majestic Nothingness was the first album that I had written. I had written that, as I said, before I left KAOS, and my writing changed as well. That's a transition period between there and there. And once I went to Norway, I kept doing it because Naga sang on Majestic. and it was, as I said, yeah. Plus, I was playing with him Covenant, and it really worked. But I wrote Mirrored Hay Painting at the same time as Spiritual, so they're written at exactly the same time. And when we were mixing Mirrored, Shagrath come back to the studio because we mixed Spiritual twice. Again, the second mix, I don't know, is a bit different. I like the first one better. But everyone knows that there's two mixes, and you know what I mean. And then there was Stian was listening to Mirrored Hay Painting, and he was like, "Why isn't that a DIMMU riff? Why isn't that a DIMMU riff?" I said, "Well, because it's me. I just wrote them both at the same time." You know what I mean? But on Mirrored Hay Painting, I really wanted to, the leads, I just wanted to open it up more. I just wanted to, yeah, like do a lot more leads. And Mirrored Hay Painting is way quicker than Spiritual. Like, it's just faster.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
it's, Mirrored Hay Painting is like up to 240, 250. Like, it's, when I put it on now and play to it, I'm just like, Jesus fuck. Like, but at that time, I was playing guitar 8 hours a day, all day, every day. Like, that was like, that's when I was at the best playing guitar. Like, because I was just, that's all I did all day, every day. It was my job. It was what I loved doing. And yeah, that was a fun time too, man, because that was only 2 weeks, me and Nagash just together in the studio. We didn't have a producer. We didn't have anybody in the studio except us. Like, yeah, we just closed the door. There was just us. We slept there in the studio for 2 weeks. When, yeah, and just did it all ourselves. Like, we just didn't have anybody around to. Peter wasn't there. Peter's brother works the other studio in at his studio. But like, after like a day, we were just like, yeah, cool. Now let's just do this by ourselves, and it was fun. It was a bit party too, a bit over the top, but we got everything done, and it was fun.
What is your favorite song from Mirrored Hay Painting?
Probably the second song.
Second.
Yeah, because the solo, that's the best solo that I've ever written in my life. I don't remember the name of it.
Lured like, not
yeah,
lured like a sword, seems to me. The third
Lord,
one is
you like your thought? Yeah, yeah.
Mystic Hay is the first one.
Yeah.
Lured
Would you
like...
like your thought? Okay, maybe. Yeah, it's just that.
So it's the painting. The painting is the third song.
Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's my favorite
Because
one.
that, yeah, that solo in that song, that's the best. That's the best solo that I've ever played ever. Like, it's
Yeah,
just,
man.
I hear it back and go, that's just, I like, yeah, to me, I don't know where it come from. It was just maybe probably one or two takes or something, because I was working on Spirituals, all the leads on Spiritual. I don't write leads like beforehand. Like, I wait until it's my time to do my thing, and then, like, I know what, as I said before, like, I know the structure, but I really don't write it before. Like, I kind of just go, okay, this is the structure and this is what I'm going to do. And yeah, on that one, I remember it was probably like 2 or 3 takes or something. And then I'd finished that. And when I listened back to it, I went, that's fucking what I've been trying to do for a long time. So yeah, I think that's my favorite one. But the last song on that one's pretty good too. That's really fast. That was just something that I think it was like 220 or 230. And I just went, before I recorded the guitars, I went, let's just try this at like 250 or 255. And just, yeah, it was really quick, but it worked, but it works.
Yeah.
As I said at the time, I wanted to do something really fast.
So why didn't you use drummer? Because so there were so many musicians around in Norway, especially Hellhammer. Why didn't? So you just made drums yourself, right?
Yeah, they can't play. They're not playing. And I'm I'm good with playing with other drummers, but I like, when I write drums myself, I can get everything to lock in to the guitars. You know what I mean? So it's just tight. Like, it's really hard to tell someone, or I can tell someone to have the nuances or the kick-ins before, or all the accents and all that shit, but unless you're writing all the accents and everything yourself, it's never going to be as tight. Like, yeah, and I just like doing it, man. It's fun for me. I love programming drums. I like working out the sound. I like, yeah. And for me, Carpe is it's just me. You know what I mean? Like it's, yeah,
Reflection of your
and
soul. Yeah.
yeah, like KAOS is the same as well. Like where KAOS is me and a singer, so it's exactly the same. It's just me and a singer, and all the other stuff. I just program the keyboards and the drums, and but it works because if you do it properly, it's really tight, and yeah, it's just I wouldn't trust anyone else to do it, you know.
I see what you
just
mean.
just a
I see
thing
what
where
you mean.
it's a trust thing where I know that this thing isn't going to steal my money, steal my drugs, or steal my girlfriend. Because it's just not, you know what I mean? Like it's just gonna just do what it's supposed to do, and I don't have any dramas. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but I enjoy it. I as I said, like Majestic Nothingness just got is just going to be re-released. So I just licensed it to Nuclear War Productions. So they're doing like vinyls, tape, and CD reversion of it. It's the same thing.
For both albums.
But we
For
no,
both.
just for Majestic. I might do Mirrored again, like but yeah, for now it's just we just did Majestic, and I did the original cover as well, like the spider cover. Like I didn't,
Huh?
because Head Not Found maybe changed the cover on the second run, and I don't like when labels tell you can't use what cover you want, you know. But I understand it though. They want to do something that's simpler, that isn't like a spider fucking raping a girl. I understand that, but that's the whole point of art. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be nice. It's just what it is. But yeah, so that's getting re-released now. So yeah, like look back at Majestic. Majestic is good too. Majestic is it's a different one. Off there, I like most songs off that album. When fucking I remember recording it, I think it's the third or fourth song on that album. I don't know. And I push like record, and Nagash is in the room, and I'm expecting like, "Rah," and then he goes, "A breath of darkness." I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" And then I let him go, and then at the end of it, I said, "Wow, okay, this is what we're doing now." And I went back to the start, said, "Okay, let's do this again. Let's work it out." And I was like, "That was strange, man." But like he can do that stuff too, you know.
Yeah.
He's a Garm fan too. I love Garm, man. Like, but yeah, Majestic was different. The leads on Majestic are very different because I wasn't confident enough. I hadn't practiced, like I wasn't at that level yet. You know what I mean? I was just
Uh-huh.
that's a jump in between of getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hadn't explored like, yeah, enough guitar playing. Well, I had, but I wasn't confident enough to put that into the black metal yet. So it's different.
Let's just let's